Hi everyone, welcome back to I'm Josie McDaniel with Deep. So for our activity today, I'm going to show you how to make windsock. Now, a windsock is a little different than a normal sock. A normal sock we put on our feet, but this windsock you can hang outside, and I'll show you what happens with my fan here when it goes in the wind. It's going to fill with wind and twirl around. Here are the supplies that you're going to need for this project. One piece of paper, a toilet paper tube after you've finished with the roll. A paper towel tube will also work for this. You just have to cut it down shorter. You'll need red and blue crayons, markers, or colored pencils, something you can color with in the colors red and blue. We're going to need glue, scissors, and then lastly some string, yarn, or thread, something that you can use to hang your decoration with when it is all finished. Okay, let's get started. Step one, we're going to fold our piece of paper in half along the long side. So we just line up the edges. And we fold that in half. Now we're going to open it up and we're going to cut it in half along the line that we just folded. Now you should have 2 half sheets of paper. Okay, we're going to set one to the side, and the other one we're going to take and we're going to fold it in half again down the short middle. Just like that. And now we're going to take this one, we're going to open it up, and again we're going to cut along the line that we just folded. Alright, now you should have 2 that looks like these. We're only going to need one of these today, and then the other one you can set aside. Okay, now on this short piece of paper, this is going to be the top part of our windsock. So on this piece of paper, we're going to first draw some stars. And you can use your marker, your colored pencil, crayons, whatever you have, to draw some stars. Alright, when you filled it all up with stars, now we're just going to fill in with blue all around the stars. Now we're going to take this piece of paper that we've just colored, and we're going to take our toilet paper tube and some glue. We're going to take our glue and we're going to put a line of glue along the side of our toilet paper tube. Just like that. And now I'm going to take my paper and I'm going to line it up like that. And I'm just going to press down so that it sticks to that glue. And I like to hold it there and count to 10 so that I'm sure that it's stuck down. Alright, now we're going to wrap it around our tube. Just like that. And then we need to put one more line of glue there so that we can stick down the other side. Just like that. I'm making sure I press it down, and then I'm going to count to 10 again. All right, and when it's all done, it should look like this. Now we're going to take this and we're going to set it aside for right now so it can dry. And we're going to go back to our other half sheet of paper. Now this sheet of paper we're going to fold in half one more time along the long side. Now this paper is going to be for the bottom part of our windsock, the red and white streamers. So half of this paper we're going to leave white, and the other half we're going to color in red with your marker crayon or colored pencil. When it's all colored in, it should look something like this. Half white, half red. And now what we need to do is we need to cut it into strips to make the streamers for the bottom of our windsock. So I'm just going to cut along the long side in small strips. And I'm going to keep cutting until all the paper is gone. Alright, now you should have about 10 to 12 strips of paper. And I'm going to organize them so that white. Alright, now we have to attach our streamers to the bottom of our windsock, and we're going to do this by using glue again. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your glue and you're going to draw a little line of glue along the inside edge of your paper towel tube. And I would only go about halfway around to start. Just like that. Now I'm going to stick my red and white streamers on there. Now take your red and make sure your red is facing the same side as the blue, because if it's facing the other way, then it's not going to show. And then you're just going to take the end and you're going to stick it in the glue. Now I'm going to do the same thing with a white strip. And now a red again. And I'm going to go all the way around. Now when that's all dry, your windsock should look something like this. And the last thing that we have to do is add our string so that you can hang it outside so that it can actually catch the wind. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut 2 holes on either side of the top of this. I'm going to take my paper towel tube and I'm just going to kind of squeeze it a little, just like that. And then I'm going to take my scissors and I'm just going to cut a tiny little bit. That's it, and stop. And I'm going to flip it over. And I'm going to do the same thing on this side. Take my scissors, just cut it a tiny little bit and stop. Now I'm going to squeeze it the other way to push it back out again. And I'm just pushing the end so that I can see the little holes that I made. Right. And I'm going to take my string or your yarn or your thread, whatever you have at home, and I'm going to tie it around these 2 holes. Here's my string, you can see it. And I'm just threading it through the hole. And I'm going to tie a knot on this side. And I'm going to tie one on the other side. And there is the finished product. Now you can take it, you can hang it outside and watch it dance in the wind.
Thank you for joining us today, and remember, early readers become future leaders.